Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal on a actually very pleasant Wednesday morning. Yay, Wednesday! Wednesday's my new Friday. I'm delighted to say that it is 15 degrees Celsius, and that would make it, I guess, about 59 in Fahrenheit. For those of you who don't know, Dear Mama Sal is a channel where we talk about love, life, and other problems through my experiences on a day-to-day basis, and also through the experiences of the viewers who write to me and allow me to share their stories. This week we've been talking about overwhelm, which is something that hit me at the weekend. And I'm very pleased to say that today's topic is going to be back on track. I had a real dilemma going on, and I'm certain that those of you who have set goals will understand what I'm about to talk about. But I had a real dilemma going on because in my mind, in order to grow Dear Mama Sal, I would have to change it in some way, and that wasn't sort of sitting well with my integrity in terms of, I know my viewers quite well and I didn't want to change what got me the incredible viewers that I've got. And so, but you know, every way I was looking at stuff meant that I would have to in order to take it to the next level. And then suddenly, after all that pain and suffering and learning curves and everything else, and I'm still in that process, but what I suddenly realized was that I already had all the information I needed. And it was interesting because somebody said to me, you know, you've got 3 distinct areas that you deal with, and one is the ride along stuff where we talk about life, love, and other issues. Then we've got the fun stuff, you know, which is Sal and Hal in the kitchen. And those are the videos I do with my Halogon Oven and other little experiments I do in the kitchen. And then of course we've got when I decide to have a crafty time. And I realized that part of the problem as well was that I know that some of my viewers really like the longer drive along type videos. And that was a problem for me because, you know, everything that you read, you know, is, you know, shorten them up. And then I just came to me in a light bulb moment, which is very important to me, that they are totally different things. In other words, I can do my shortened videos and the other stuff for the, you know, the product reviews and does it really work type reviews and stuff like that. But you know, on the day-to-day stuff, I can just keep doing exactly what we've been doing because I know so many of you value it. And it's changed so many lives because you've told me about that. And so really, exhale. You know, I really don't have to change a whole lot. I just need to do what I'm doing in a different way, slightly better, and I will have more time to do it better. And so I feel really quite inspired this morning to be back on track. And I think in any time that I've been in business or any time that I've been part of a team of people trying to achieve a goal, you go through this sort of plateau where you go, ugh. And you know, there are times when Yvonne really cracks me up because she has this wonderful ability Absolutely wonderful ability to look at me and go, you've got close to 650,000 views. What makes you think you're not doing it right? You know, you sort of go, oh. You know, and it's sort of like, it's quite a good point, right? So I wanted to talk to you about your goals and the fact that maybe they're taking longer than you would like, or that you're not sure where to go. And I wanted to say what helps you get back on track is a friend who understands you, and a friend who, you know, really knows your integrity and knows what it is gives you pleasure in life. I think one of the most important things that I had to wrestle with over the last week was, you know, I'm somebody, I enjoy helping people. There's no doubt about that. You guys know that. And when I say I enjoy helping people, I enjoy giving people options. I enjoy a little bit of being able to share what wisdom I might have gleaned over the years. I enjoy that. I enjoy that people write to me sort of, you know, 2 years later and say, wow, you know, so when I first started listening to Dear Mama Sal, this is what was going on in my life, and I've learned so much, and this is what's going on now, and I'm so happy. You know, what's not to love about that? That's very selfish, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so I'm a very selfish person. And you know, I can remember this time last year going down nearly this time last year, but you know, going down to VidCon, and just how exciting that was. And this time going down to VidCon, it has a completely different feel to it. Because this time the whole of the team is going, and for those of you who know, I'm part of the Benji and Judy team that puts together December and also works on some of their other stuff. And you know, we don't get to see each other very often during the year, but the thing is, we do get to meet up at some of these events because we all fly in just so we can. And you know, as much as we're all going to be going down to VidCon to learn what we can from VidCon, we also will have, yeah, I'm sure, at least one very serious meeting where we sit down and discuss the sort of final 6 months run into December. We've done a lot of work already this year, which is great. You know, I'm a great believer in that. So part of me goes, part of growing is actually the dark cloud thing. We all know that the overwhelm that I felt last weekend was totally self-inflicted, and it had a large dose of very high expectations of myself in a category that didn't come naturally to me. I can remember listening to a guy one day who was being very pompous about how smart he was, and he was really demeaning the person he was talking to. Who I happen to know quite well. And I said to him, you know, you must feel very smart in this area. And therefore probably more intelligent. I said, let me ask you something. How much do you know about, I can't remember what her area of expertise was, but let's say it was just for the heck of it, let's say it was needlepoint. Or being an artist, or whatever it was. I think she must have been an artist of some sort, that comes to my mind. She had some sort of massive artistic ability. I said, how much do you know about painting, or whatever it was? And he looked at me and he said, what? I said, how much do you know about painting? And I'm not talking walls, I'm talking murals and stuff, yeah, whatever. He said, nothing. I said, oh, so the fact that she is an expert in that, does that make her pretty talented and pretty intelligent? No, that makes her creative. Oh. So in your mind, creative doesn't equate to an intelligence of any sort. So Leonardo da Vinci didn't have any intelligence, or Picasso. You know, and I'm sort of going down a list of things. And you know, it was really interesting because you just watch this guy start to think about that and saying, well, you know, you're right. I said, I'd like to suggest that you score, you know, in your mind 10 out of 10 on intelligence in this area. But the lady you're speaking to not only scores, you know, close to 10 out of 10 on creativity, but also on, and I mentioned two other things because I knew she was an unbelievably good volunteer. She helped a lot of people in her time. You know, her soul work, as I call it, was very, very strong. I said, and so when you add all these things up, I wonder, who is the better person? And that isn't important, really. As long as each of us value what we bring to the table. And preferably do not put other people down for not bringing those skills. Or put ourselves down. And that's what put me back on track. I genuinely know that the next part of my life is going to be fascinating on a lot of levels, and it is also going to be exposing a lot of vulnerabilities, and those are the ones that most people relate to, which is wonderful because I will have more life lessons on my journey through this transition. Which I find very exciting, suddenly. So give a thought for a moment to whatever your goals are and ask yourself, where have you plateaued on your goals? And by what are you judging your progress? And the other thing is, what do you need to get back on track? What do you need to start believing that you can do it again? That you can believe in yourself enough to get back on track and take another step forward. Or maybe even run a couple. Remember the joy of that. So that's my thought for the day. Get back on track. And maybe the tough times you're going through right now are not nearly as tough as you think they are. They are just the wind blowing the dark clouds over your way, but behind it comes the sunlight. And I'm pretty sure that we all can visualize day and night. And I really do think that some days we have days and there's a lot of light around and we can see what our life is doing and unfolding, how it's unfolding. And I do believe there's some days when it's night. And maybe we don't sleep very well in those nighttime feelings. And maybe we toss and turn and question and do all sorts of things. But also know that somewhere in the depth of all of that, you'll get all the bits of information you need to take the next step. And I've said it time and time again, and I will have to keep reminding myself as well, which is who you are is good enough. Just do what you're doing a little bit better. Dream what you're dreaming just a little bit better. Get back on track and achieve your goal. Whatever that is. For this week. For this month. For this year. For this lifetime. We're all on a journey. And there's a reason why we all met at the same time. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget that we do more than this. We do 3 broadcasts a week, and if you look at the links below, it'll point you in the right direction to the DearMamaSal.com site, where there's a broadcast tab, and it shows you all the broadcasts that we do. And obviously we are on all the other platforms. So this is Dear Mama Sal saying thank you so much for being here. I value it deeply. I certainly wouldn't be here if it were not for you. Bye-bye for now.